Into the round of 16 we go now, over in the Europa League. That's right, with some juggernauts entering the mix. Who's going to take advantage with these first legs? We're going to take a little look. And then... That's right, football. Again, we're in a prediction video today. We look forward to the Europa League last 16, first legs, of course, and we'll get to that in a second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe button. Your one-stop shop for the Europa League is right here at Blackburn Overseas. We've got World Football, Rovers Football, and of course, right here, right now, European football with the Europa League. That's right, the juggernauts, Rangers are in the mix here by Leverkusen. Liverpool right back in the thick of things. It has started to get spicy over in the Europa League. But what's going on previously? We'll get into all of that and more in a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. Again, if you're new, where the hell have you been? Get amongst it, of course, and subscribe. Your one-stop shop for the Europa League continues, of course. So let's get cracking. A recap how we got on last time around. Not great, of course. It's a bit of a trend here with my European videos, second legs. Not really at full kilt. So I got 14 points, but let's recap the results for those playoffs, second legs, and see who went through to the last 16. Starting here with Qarabağ against Braga. 3-2 it was, final score. I went with a 1-1 draw. Qarabağ actually coming on through 6-5 on aggregate after extra time. Meanwhile, Freiburg 3-2 winners over Lens, of course. I went with the 1-1 draw, and Freiburg going through with that 3-2 scoreline to go through to the last 16. Rennes with a 3-2 win over Milan, of course. 2-1 win it was for me. However, Milan go through 5-3 on aggregate. Moving on forward, Toulouse with a 0-0 draw against Benfica. I went with a 2-1 away win, but of course Benfica go through 2-1 on aggregate as well. Meanwhile, Sporting Lisbon 1-1 draw against Young Boys Bern. I went with the 2 to win myself, and also Sporting go through 4-2 on aggregate. They of course will be at the last 16. Got a couple of little these badges right as well, which is pretty savvy. Meanwhile, kicking on forward, it is Shakhtar Donetsk. They lost to Marseille 3-1 on the night. I went with the 2-1 away win. 5-3 it was Marseille. They're in the last 16. Of course, and they'll be joined by Sparta Prague. 4-1 it was on the night. I went with the 2-1 away win there. Of course, a bit of an upset that. Moneybag, Galatasaray. 6-4 win, Sparta and Prague go through. And they're joined by Roma. 1-1 on the night. I went with a 2-0 win. 4-2 on penalties. Roma are through to the last 16, of course. What about the state of play for our little prediction league? Well, let's have a little look at it, shall we? Of course, this is the playoffs second leg, not the first leg, the second leg's right here. And Zutucu Atom with 34 points, one on him. Motta's up there with 27. Hansworst, 25, alongside 37 as well. I'm all the way down here with 40. I've not had a good week, and there's reasons behind that logic. But Motta kicks ass with 380 right now, 377 with, of course, 375, and Nico ZT 374. I'm all the way down here in ninth, but you know what? It's okay. It's all right. So we're going to get back into the thick of things. Looking forward to those round of 16 games, and they are all here, all 8 of them in all their glory. Some big teams in here, of course. Looking forward to this. So let's get cracking with the first one, which actually takes place on Tuesday. Possibly the 5th of March. It's Sporting up against Atalanta. So let's get cracking. Of course, they have played each other twice in 2023. Nothing for Sporting Lisbon. 1 for Atalanta, and there's been 1 draw so far. Lisbon, 2 goals scored in those 2 games. 1 goal a game on average. Meanwhile, Atalanta with a 2-1 win, their biggest and only win, scoring 3 goals in total. 1.50 goals game heading into this one. Sporting Lisbon, though, unbeaten in the last 6 matches. In fact, they haven't lost in the last 8 matches, with 83% form for them at the moment. In fact, they haven't lost in the last 14 home matches either. Up against the Atalanta side, back-to-back games without a win. They lost 75% for them heading into this one. Now, the previous match in Portugal was a 2-1 win for Atalanta way back in October 2023. It was in the Europa League Group D. That was this season, guys. That was this season. Both these two sides in the Europa League in Group D locked horns against each other over in the round of 16, of course. Atalanta on the back of a 4-0 loss against Internazionale. Sporting Lisbon on the back of a 2-1 win over Benfica. Lisbon also taking on Firenze this week. Of course, they're expected to win that game, with Atalanta taking on Bologna. They're expected to play today in that match as well. The odds for this one, we have Sporting 11-10 for the victory, 11-5 is your Atalanta, and 13-5 is your draw. Let's go with the popular vote 2-1 win. Sporting to take this one and move the chains. Meanwhile, Qarabağ up against the Red hot to trot by Leverkusen. Now, these two sides have played each other twice. So 2 wins and 2 for Leverkusen, nothing for Qarabağ, and no draws. Qarabağ, no win, but 1 goal scored in those 2 games, 0.50 goals a game on average. Leverkusen, 5-1 win, the biggest, scoring 6 goals in those 2 games, 3 goals a game on average. They're on a 92% form for them right now, winning 5 on the bounce, of course. In fact, haven't lost the last 36 matches, haven't lost any of the last 17 away matches. Meanwhile, Qarabağ just 1 defeat in the last 5, 58% form for them heading into this one. Now, these two sides did lock horns also in the Europa League Group H, way back in this campaign. It was a 1-0 win for Leverkusen in Qarabağ most recently. Qarabağ on the back of a 4-0 win over Kabala, back-to-back clean sheets for them. Leverkusen with a 2-1 win over Mainz. That was, of course, back on the 23rd of Feb. They are taking on Köln today. Qarabağ taking on Baku in their respective top flight. With the odds for this one, 13-2 is your Qarabağ, 11-4 on Leverkusen, 17-4 is the draw. Let's go 2-0 win for Leverkusen on this one on the road, and that'll put them in a good stead for the away leg, or the home leg, the second leg. Meanwhile, Roma against Brighton, a bit of a zing-zong affair, of course, as De Zerbi goes head-to-head with De Rossi, the Italian managers, over at the Stadio Olimpico. They have played each other never. Of course, Roma unbeaten in the last 4 matches, winning 4 on the bounce, of course, 65% form for them over the last 6. Brighton, though, just 1 win in 5 for them, 42% form for them heading into this one. Last time around, though, over for Brighton, it was a 3-0 loss to Fulham. Roma picking up a 4-1 win over Monza, of course, and they've actually scored, 11 goals in the last 3 games combined. The bookies for this one do have Roma, where are you? 5-4 for the victory, 21-10 is your Brighton, 25 the draw. I'm going to go 2-0 win for Roma. I think this is where Brighton get found out a little bit, but we'll see if I'm right or wrong. Sparta Prague up against Liverpool, coming at you over in... actually, Sparta Prague up against Liverpool. Yes, that's correct. But we have 2 Pragues. We have 2 Pragues in this last 60. Of course, Sparta Prague up against Liverpool in Prague. Played each other twice, of course. It's 2011. Nothing for Prague. 1 for Liverpool and 1 draw so far. Prague, though, 83% form for them right now, winning 5 of the last 6. In fact, they haven't lost any of the last 15 home matches. And they've won 8 home matches in a row. Up against the Liverpool side, 6 wins on the bounce for them, 100% form. And they look pretty A-OK. These two sides did lock horns last time around in Prague back into February 2011. It was a 0-0 draw. Prague, though, on the back of a 3-2 win over Slavia Prague at the Cup quarter-final stage. They're taking on Slavia Prague this week as well. Actually taking on right here, right now. They're expected to win that game. Liverpool, of course, on the back of a 1-0 win over Forest, back-to-back clean sheets. In fact, 3 clean sheets on the spin for Liverpool heading into this one. But the bookies for this, we have Sparta Prague, 3-1 for the victory, 5-4 is your Liverpool, and 14-5 is the draw. I do think they'll mix it up a little bit with this team here. I'm gonna go with a surprising 1-1 draw. I'm going for snookers here to try and get the points back. So we'll see if I'm right or wrong. Meanwhile, AC Milan up against Slavia Prague, of course, the other Prague that's in this competition, coming at you over at the San Siro. They've never played each other according to my data. Milan, though, 58% form for them, just 1 win in the last 4 up against the Slavia Prague side. 75% form for them right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6. Of course, Slavia Prague on the back of that 3-2 loss to Sparta Prague. They are, of course, going to take on them once again in the league this time. They're expected to lose that game. Meanwhile, Milan on the back of a 1-0 win over Lazio. Of course, that was a couple of days ago. Big win for them as they look forward to this one. The odds for this one, Slavia Prague, 11-2 for the victory, 20-11 on is your AC Milan, who are favoured here. Of course, 3-1 is the draw. We're going to go with a 2-1 win. Milan to take the points. And, of course, or at least the win for the first leg. Meanwhile, we go to Freiburg over in Germany as they take on our Premier League or West Ham United. They've played each other twice since 2023. Nothing for Freiburg, 2 for West Ham, and 0 draws so far. Freiburg on the back of course, 42% form for them right now, just 1 win in 6 up against the West Ham United side. Back-to-back wins for them, 42% form for them, as of course they get back to winning ways. Of course, last time around over in Freiburg, it was a 2-1 win for West Ham, way back, of course, in the group stages, Europa League Group A. Well, this is a lot of weird playoff matches here. I don't really like this. You're just basically playing them again. You'll be playing them 4 times in one season. That's a bit bonkers. That's three of these last 8 matches here are duplicates, and I think that's a pretty shit setup going on here. I don't know why they do that. They need to sort that out. But anyway, 2-1 win it was for West Ham in Germany last time around. West Ham on the back of a 3-1 win over Everton. Of course, Freiburg on the back of a 2-2 draw against Bayern. Of course, the odds for this one, we're looking at Freiburg 11-8 for the victory, 5-2 is the draw, 95 is your away win. We're going to go with a 1-1 draw on that one as well. Into the final 2, we have Benfica. They're taking on Rangers. That's right, coming at you over in Portugal. They've never played each other according to my eyes. Benfica, though, 67% form for them right now. Just what we're looking at, 1 defeat in the last 6 up against the Rangers side. Also won 1 defeat in the last 6. 83% form for them at the moment as well. They have played each other twice. Both of those matches were 2-2 draws. And again, we have a bit of a carbon copy. However, this is a bit of a different scenario. The last time they played each other over in Portugal was a 3-3 draw back in November 2020 in the Europa League Group D. Of course, Benfica on the back of that 2-1 loss to Sporting in the Cup, taking on Porto this weekend over in Porto in the league. They were expected to lose that one. Meanwhile, Rangers on the back of a 2-1 loss to Motherwell. Bit of a surprise there, of course. So they're looking to bounce back and fast. Of course, 5-4 is your Roma, 21-10 is your Brighton, 25 is a draw. Going to go with a 2-0 win for Benfica. Rangers having a torrid old week. And then wrap it up. It's Marseille, it's Villarreal, it's over in La France, of course. Now, these two sides have played each other twice since 2018. One for Marseille, nothing for Villarreal, and one draw so far. The biggest win, the only win for Marseille, was a 2-1 win, scoring 3 goals in those 2 games, 1.50 goals a game on average. Villarreal, though, 2 goals scored in those 2 matches, a goal apiece for them. They're on 67% form for them at the moment, unbeaten in the last 6 matches up against the Marseille side. 67% form for them right now, winning 3 in the bounce. Haven't lost any of the last 17 home matches. Of course, last time they played each other in Marseille was a friendly. It was a 2-1 win. We don't really talk about that too much. Marseille, they're on the back of a 5-1 win over Clermont Foot over Ligue 1. Villarreal with a 3-1 win over Real Sociedad most recently. They're taking on Granada right here, right now, as they look to make another push towards the upper end of La Liga. The odds for this one, Marseille 11-10 on for the victory. 11-4 is the draw. 11-4 is also your away win. We are backing a Marseille victory here. 2-1 win for them to take it to the house. Those are my picks. My booster will have to probably be, let's go with again, don't forget to fill out the odds and the ends and the ins and the outs to boost your score there. But that, my friends, is what I've got for you. Subscribe, smash your likey like it. Of course, come back again for the second legs when we see who will go through to, of course, the quarterfinals. Of course, that's it. Until then, I'll see you soon. Behave yourselves. And, of course, I keep on predicting.